Welcome to Working with Native American Youth, part of the Pathways Transition Video Brief series. In this video brief, Terry Cross, founder, former executive director, and currently senior advisor to the National Indian Child Welfare Association, provides guidance for service providers on working with Native American youth. Mr. Cross emphasizes the importance of supporting youth to develop a positive cultural identity that incorporates healthy interdependence with others. Finally, he urges non-Native service providers to seek cultural guides to assist Native American youth to connect with their heritage.
Success in American society tends to be associated with becoming an independent individual, getting an education, getting a job, being able to perform in society. And those things are important to American Indian people, but they're important in the sense that you become part of an interdependent group of people. So it's just as important, for example, to develop a healthy identity as a member of the culture, to be of service to your community, and to know your cultural history and to participate in that cultural history as it is to get a degree or to get a job. And so I think that's the major difference. Well, the Relational Worldview is a composite of tribal teachings from many different tribal societies. It's represented as a 4-quadrant circle, including mind, body, spirit, and context. We talk about that 4-quadrant circle as if those 4 things are separate, when in fact they're all one thing. And it's constantly in flux and changing. It's changing throughout the day, throughout the week. But it's the balance between all of those 4 things that's important in healthy human development, and being able to have energy produced in all 4 quadrants so that the person can thrive, not just survive, is really the important part of how it can be used with youth to encourage healthy development. For the non-Native service providers, I think it's when they partner with Native providers. I think it's very difficult for non-Native providers to do some of this work. Now, the only thing that really changes human behavior is contact with another human, and the reaching out and creating a genuine connection can happen across cultures. There are some barriers and historic distrust, and when a provider doesn't understand their own biases or cultures, it's really hard for them to reach that across that divide in a way that really communicates the genuineness of the relationship. But people are fully capable of doing that. But you have to realize the limits of that as well, that the non-Native can't really give the Native aspects to the young person, but can play the role of broker and connector and facilitator, and you don't get it out of books. I'll give you an example that so much of the teaching culturally is a strong connection between doing something cultural and experiencing the underlying meaning behind that. So, for example, whether it's subsistence gathering or making a basket or learning a song, where in the mainstream society you might go to a class and learn a technique and be able to do something. In an indigenous way of teaching, so you would learn the importance of the origin of that thing that you're gathering, its meaning to the people, how it's connected to the spirituality. The more that the non-Indian provider can connect young people with the depth of that experience of the the why you would do something at the same time that you're learning the doing it you don't get that from a book. Most of us feel disconnected with our community. As I said, in this world where American Indian people are as diverse as they are, and many who come from mixed families, who come from mixed cultural heritages, and even if we're, have full blood of one tribe, may not feel like we know what it means to be of that tribe. I think spending time in that culture, learning who your relatives are, learning who your tribe is, some of that can come out of a book and can come from websites. So the greater the exposure, but most of it comes through the experience of being with other people, and particularly with your relatives.
Discussion questions and resources on working with Native American youth can be found through the link on this slide. A live link can be found on the YouTube channel description of this video brief. We'd like to acknowledge support from the National Institute of Disability, Independent Living, and Rehabilitation Research and the Center for Mental Health Services, Substance Abuse, and Mental Health Services Administration.